Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TriStar Gym channel. Today's episode, I have Douglas Malo. Douglas, I want to thank you, first of all, for saving Mr. Psycho Stu's life. Stuart Smith, from what I understand, he goes by the name Psycho Stu. You're the man who pulled off Raja Jackson when Raja Jackson was in the midst of a brutal attack. Tell me, what was going through your mind when you saw what was happening?
Uh, Honestly, it was a state of shock, kind of in disbelief at first, but then it's like it's time to stop thinking and just kind of go. So yeah,
I I also want to commend you. You were able to handle yourself quite well with Raja Jackson. He's a professional fighter. He's no, I mean, he's a very dangerous guy, And he tried to kind of double leg you and pin you down to the mat, and you kind of sprawled him out and pushed him up against the turnbuckle and got a handle on him. And like, I mean, he was going after you as well, right?
yeah, he actually got good leverage that I wasn't expecting a shot. Um, then was trying to get like a back crank. Um,
Hmm.
I had the underhooks in. I was able to turn him, and then he moved that position. Uh, it was awkward because it wasn't like a sanctioned fight. I bit him in the trap, so he couldn't get any more leverage.
Hmm.
Uh,
Now look,
yeah,
here's the thing.
I was just trying to get compliance out of him.
We all saw the brutality. We all saw how vicious it was. We all saw how obviously it's uncalled for. There's no excuse for what he did. There's no justification whatsoever. The man needs to do hard jail time, no doubt about it. It was, I don't even know what to call it, attempted murder, assault, attack, battery, whatever you want to say. It was brutal, it was vicious. And if you hadn't stepped in, it's very likely Psycho Stuart Smith, his life would have been forever, I mean, incapacitated. But can I ask you a question real quick before we go any further on other topics? How is Stuart Smith doing now? The latest update.
He's good. Finally home. I've been telling people he's been home so they can leave him alone because people have been showing up to the hospital that shouldn't. Uh, like I'm friends with Stu from wrestling, right? But like we don't hang out every day because we got two different lives. We live in different areas. We had a good moment at the last wrestling show and a couple of wrestling shows we've talked and stuff like that. But like, there's people that are they're up to his daily life, and those are the people that need to be with him, you know. So that's so I've been talking to them every day, seeing how he's doing. And I talked to one yesterday. I haven't talked to one yet today, but basically he's up, he's walking, or feeling better. Uh, he made a little clip when he kind of heard what happened and said, "It takes more than that shit to kill me." So, typical Stu. he's
Well, I'm glad to hear he's back home, man. I'm glad to hear he's back to the comfort of his home, and I can't say like I mean I got to tell you, look, the whole MMA world now is clashed with the pro wrestling world, and we have ways of doing things, and you guys have ways of doing things, and that's why I wanted to do this interview. First and foremost, I got to tell you, the MMA world, we're really embarrassed. We're not, nobody in the MMA world condones what Raja Jackson does. That was absolutely, absurd what he did. And I'll tell you something: most martial artists, most MMA fighters, they're not like that. They're gentlemen, they're sweet, they're compassionate people, and I'm sure it's the same thing in the professional wrestling world. I've met a few professional wrestlers. I know guys who train in professional wrestling. So this is a clash of both worlds, and that's gone bad. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the behind the scenes, okay? Because for us, we have a way of doing things, okay? And I wanted to know, is it true? Because here's a big debate online. Everybody's arguing, did the promoters of your show, did they tell Raja Jackson he can go in there and get his revenge in the ring?
oh, fuck no. They would never suggest that. Like, there's a way to wrestle, and like if it's like go in there and fuck that guy up, right?
Mhm.
You do it like a work. You know what I mean? It's a work. In MMA, you guard your chin. In wrestling, I give you my chin, so when
Mhm.
the big punch comes, it's all dramatic and huge. You move
Right.
with it, you roll with it. Like yeah, no, nobody suggested to go in there and fuck them up. If anything, it would have been like, go make yourself look good, but you do it safely.
Right,
Like
but
that. That's they would
but we
never
saw
suggest. It.
Douglas. We saw a video of somebody telling Raja Jackson, and of course, there's no excuse for what he did. Okay, but they were telling him because I can't imagine two guys having a beef and me telling them, "Hey, go handle it out on the arena." They were telling him, "Go get there, go get your receipt." Now, in MMA
But
world, we don't have that
that
term. I don't want to say that it gave him a carte blanche. I'm just saying we don't have that term. What does that mean exactly? Go get your receipt. Go get
you're talking about cowboy hat
a cowboy hat and also the Hawaiian fellow. I heard him
or
say, "You're gonna go in
Samoan?
there and f him up."
Yeah, but he's the way he was talking. I know him personally. The
Which
way
one
he
now? Which
was,
one are we talking about? The Hawaiian fellow?
yes,
Okay.
I know him personally, and he's talking about like going there and like get your shit in, and like that means like as a wrestler, like pick you up, do a spine buster. You know what I mean? You roll around. I'm giving you working kicks to the ribs. I'm going to look big in front of the audience while you roll around.
Right.
Like that's what he needs.
But the
The other guy is a complete loser.
cowboy
No
hat,
hothead,
cowboy
hated
hat.
all throughout all hated all throughout the wrestling world. Um, has no sense of accountability. Always a victim in everything. Always causing problems everywhere he goes. Known for hurting people. Known for shooting on people. I mean, even later or earlier in the day before the incident, he was abusing a worker or a fellow wrestler. And then afterwards he's talking trash about that guy when the guy leaves. That's his character. Literally doing something with the guy in the ring, and then after the guy leaves the ring, who's a friend of mine, he's like, "Oh man, that guy can't work. He can't do this. He's this. He's that. Oh, he sucks." Like that's his personality. No accountability. No honesty in his soul. And then he goes back and I never said anything. I would never do it. I'm like, bro, you just told all of his friends are right here. You told his friends that he sucked. Like, why would we lie to him? You know? So then that guy saying, get your receipt, but he didn't say receipt. Mainly it was tag his shit. Like implicating, like make sure, like, oh, receipt, but tag his shit. And then, oh, if anyone has anything to say, I'll back you up. So now you have an outsider who's an MMA fighter who's trying to follow with their punches and hurt people. You know what I mean? I need to punch through your head and knock you the hell out. So you told him to hit this guy full bore. And if anyone does anything, you'll back him up. So now
Mm-hmm.
you just said it's us versus them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then when it came down to it, where the hell was he? That's also the same guy. You can hear him on the video, Andre, this and that. He's trying to say he's not Andre. That's his name is Andre Joel Hudson. He's an idiot. Andre Joel Hudson, the idiot. That's his full name. So that guy, I can't stand him. We hear him in the video, and one of the guys asked, "Was that you talking to him in this video?" "No, I would never use that word. I would never use that word. It's against my culture." Because he claims to be Samoan,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he talks with a Samoan accent around Samoans. Then he goes on CT Fletcher's podcast and then listen to him there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's the guy you're dealing with. It was a clout chaser, and all he wants to do is put himself over. And he's willing to have any scene or anything that can cause something for him to get attention.
Douglas,
And then he's saying that, yeah.
I'm sorry. Did they tell Raja Jackson exactly how it's going to go down? They told him, okay, you're going to pick him up, you're going to put him down, you're going to fake an elbow. Like, did they give them step by step instructions, or they just like go out there and wing it? What was the
I don't
instruction?
know.
What was the limitation? What was the
I don't know.
the preparation? Or did
Yeah, I told you I don't.
the
I don't know.
organizers just say, "Oh, just we'll tap you"? Because I heard one video where they told him, "Hey, when we tap you on the shoulder, that's when you're going in." But did they tell him what he has to do?
You know as much as I do on that.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I know the people. I know the people by personality, and I know what I saw in the
Mm-hmm.
videos because I had my own matches and my own things to do. Right. Once I saw the video, I didn't know that AJ even talked to him in the hallway and said that until afterwards. And then I was like, that weasel, that damn weasel. Like the
Doug,
promoters, I know them. They would never suggest that you go out and you hurt somebody.
Douglas,
Like they would never.
can I ask you a question? You guys are trained, right?
Yeah.
You're trained. You have a way of doing things. I'm not a professional wrestler. Like I used to love it when I was a kid. Definitely, I was a very big fan. But isn't it a little bit irresponsible? Like I put total blame on Roger Jackson, 100%. But is it also irresponsible to take a guy from the audience and put him in the show? Isn't that a little bit unusual, nuts, dangerous?
Yes, I don't agree. I didn't. I've never agreed with it.
So does this happen on a regular basis, or is this like a one-off thing and it blew up in everybody's face?
It was a one-off thing.
They never done
It's,
this before.
no, I don't know if he has or not. I don't know the
Okay,
guy.
okay.
All I know is the dickhead in the cowboy hat, and I don't like it. Never have, because he does stupid shit. He's known for stupid shit. He's known for being abusive. He's known for being a bully.
Hmm.
Right? So like that's why I'm saying, like, there's so much wrong there.
Yeah, no, he definitely instigated him. You see him on video. He's saying, "Go get your receipt, tag him, put it on him. If they're not happy, I'll back you up." But in the MMA world, what does that mean to a young
It's
kid?
all fake bravado.
Yeah, but what does that mean to say that to an MMA fighter? Like to us, that means like,
It means crack his ass.
yeah, which
Yeah,
I thought it was
I
wrong to
get
say.
it.
It was very wrong.
It was incredibly wrong. And
Yeah.
and even further than that, you haven't. All right, so if I'm your mentor, let's say you're younger than me, and like, and I have more life experience. I'm out doing these things. I bring you to the event as a guest. You had a bad incident, this, that, and the other. Why, in my wildest dreams, would I gas you up? Why would I have you do something that, when I know you're volatile? And I have text messages that he sent to people where he said this guy's a lunatic. So you brought a lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
I have that. I have the messages.
Mm-hmm.
People are sending me all kinds of stuff. So you think he's a lunatic, and your justification now is that, like, you're going to tell him to tag his shit. Like, you're just going to tell him to go all out. Like that. Like, your job as a mentor so that he doesn't ruin his life. He doesn't put himself in jail. He doesn't hurt somebody. He doesn't do anything that detracts from his own life successes. But he didn't do it because selfish and he was caught in attention. Right? He was like, oh, if I pull back here and I do this, I will get what I want, which is always attention. He never apologized once. Not once. He was more concerned about being canceled when the videos came out than he was about taking ownership of bringing somebody like that he knew was a lunatic by his own.
I think he did something completely wrong, but I don't think he imagined Raja would do something so crazy. I think everybody was shocked. Don't you
Yeah,
think?
I can give him that. I could give him that. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. Accountability doesn't work that way. You don't get to say, oh, I never thought this would happen. I brought my dog over your house and it bit your child in the face.
Mm.
What would you say to somebody like that? Like, oh, I didn't know. It's not my fault. I brought my
No,
dog
no, it's
over and it bit your
unacceptable.
child.
There's no excuse. There's no
Right?
excuse.
And no apologies, no nothing. You're just going to walk away scot-free.
No, I look. At the end of the day, Raja did something ridiculously absurd, violent. He showed no compassion for his fellow man. Stewart was on the floor unconscious before he even started punching him. He was not in any imminent danger. He received several apologies. But one thing I want to ask you: when he and something's not clear about the apologies. Was the apology accepted on the premise that he's gonna be allowed to get revenge? Because that's what I understood on the video. They were telling him, "Look, shake hands. We're gonna let you get revenge in the ring." Or did he accept an apology and then he was offered to step in the ring?
I don't know that.
You don't know anything about that.
No, I didn't even know that this whole beer can stuff happened until somebody came up to me and said, hey, something bad, not something bad. They said, like, can you go out there and just make sure, like, the spot goes okay, or like, nothing bad happens to Stu, or something like that. And I'm like, what spot are you talking about? I was like, well, earlier there was an incident. I said, what incident? So when I went out there and I tried to piece together, and I talked to the security guy, I talked to the sound guy, I talked to the video guy, and I go back to security because we got a radio. Everyone knows that part. Then I come back and all this stuff's happening.
Hmm. So you
Blindsided.
didn't know there was a beef with Raja Jackson, but they told you that he's going to jump in the ring, and you heard a little bit about the beef, a little bit, but you didn't know that he was in full rage mode.
No,
No,
I
but
like. I could tell he was a pissed off person when he walked by me. I guess after that beer can incident, I didn't know that that's what happened. But when he walked by me, I told my buddy I was calling a match with. I said, "There's something up with that guy. He's got a
Mm.
bad attitude."
Yeah, but
Right now, knowing what I know, it's not a bad attitude. You're mad because of what happened,
what did
and
you
instead
think
of
of the
pulling
beer
him
can?
aside,
What did you think of the beer can incident? Is that like normal protocol? A lot of people are saying, "Oh, he didn't even touch him with the beer can." No, he hit him on the side of the head with the beer can. Am I right?
he hit him with the beer. If someone hit me with a beer can like that, I punch him right in the mouth.
You would.
Okay, on the spot.
Okay,
There'd
you know
be
what?
there,
I said the
yeah.
same thing, and a lot of people were really pissed off because in the MMA world, if somebody hits you, you're gonna have to hit them back to make it even, Stevens, and then
But that's a
it's done.
natural response. I
Right,
can't control my tempo when you do that. I really
right,
can't. If you hit me, I'm gonna lose my shit, and then
right,
I'm responding. There's no stay calm. Like you hit me in the face.
right,
Like my natural reaction will
right.
be left to the mouth.
So Douglas, it was a real hit. It was an empty beer can, but it was still made contact. It was still something.
Yeah, he crushed it, did whatever. Like I can't give you like I can't shine that up. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
can't say if he hit him hard or he didn't. Right?
Okay,
It's a video. It's kind of
right,
hard to tell.
right.
So
But it's not
who
normal to do
knows?
that. Like I don't want to put any blame on Stewart. I think he's been punished enough and all that. But it's not something that's normal in the locker room, right? You guys are not hitting each other with beer cans. The show's not on yet. You guys are in costume, but you're not performing yet. He saw a camera. He thought, hey, let me get some views here. Let me
Yeah.
put on a show. Maybe he thought Raja would probably take it with a smile or a joke, or he'd understand the context of the situation. Raja obviously didn't. But it's also something you would agree is not necessarily normally done in the locker room with professional wrestlers.
If there's a camera around, anything's fair game.
Right. I hear you.
You know, you got a camera on me and you want to belittle me. I got a character and a brand that I got to protect.
Right.
And that's how he was trained.
Right.
So
So
like
so Raja should
even
be warned because he's going in there real naive, I think.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's why like a lot of my gripe. I'm so mad at Roger. You know what I mean? But like
Of course.
I have to. You have to peel back the layers of how he got there. You know, I think if his dad would have been there, one, his dad would have lost his shit at the beer can. Two,
Yeah.
I think if his dad would have been there, he probably would have said it's time to go home.
I'll be honest with if in my gym if one of my fighters hits a visitor, I would send the fighter home. I think the promoters, I'm still stuck on that. I think the promoters should have never allowed them to be in the same ring together. I think the promoters should have separated them. I would have been really frustrated. I get it that there's a show being put on, but the thing is, the spectators, in my opinion, are off limits. They're not trained, they're not in costume. That's the way I see it. Like I couldn't imagine a visitor coming to the gym and anybody of the athletes putting their hands on him. To me, that's a red line. I would send that guy home. I would consider suspending him, expelling him from the gym. I understand there's an entertainment and a brand value, but to me, the guy's not in costume. He's not a fair gain, and he might not know this, but obviously he didn't know this. But Raja had suffered a concussion a few days before. Not making excuses for the guy. There's no justification for what Raja did whatsoever. But I think this could have been prevented in the long term if the golden rule of never touching the spectators is respected. What do you think?
Yeah, I could agree with that. Like, I've never once been like, "Hey, let me hit a fan." We're
Mm-hmm.
warned that when we're putting on shows to like be careful where you're jumping out of the ring and stuff like that. You might hit somebody. Uh, you don't do that to outside people because it's liable. You know,
Yeah.
at the very least liable, and at the very most, just not right to do.
Mm-hmm. And what do
You
you think?
know,
What do you think about? Because I think the defense, like Raja's obviously. First of all, he's not in handcuffs, from what I understand. I looked it up today. There's no sign that he's arrested whatsoever.
yeah,
How's that possible? Like,
I don't know.
how's that? Like when they brought Stewart to the hospital, you say, okay, he was assaulted by a human being. Aren't they filing a police report? Aren't the police seeing the video online? Like, how much more proof and evidence do you need? He's easy to identify. It was obviously an attack, an assault, a battery, whatever you want to call it. How come the man's not in handcuffs yet?
Well, that's mind-boggling to me. You know,
It's
um,
it's absolutely insane.
I could tell you, I talked to a detective yesterday. Sent in the medical stuff for my eye, a couple other things. Um, I guess maybe it's because it's Los Angeles, and they have to make everything political. Morals don't matter, right and wrong don't matter. It's all about the optics. You know, it's it's I can't explain that. Like we live in a world of stupidity nowadays. Like I am at a loss for words with the amount of stupid from the political parties in California and Los Angeles area. I think any other city that this would be, already being processed. And maybe they're building evidence because maybe, Stu doesn't want to press charges, so then the state has to pick it up, so it's taking a little longer, right? Maybe they're building evidence to see if they want to try and charge him with, um, assault and battery or something like that, or with a different intent than, or they want to go with attempted murder. I wouldn't know. I'm not an
But
expert at that.
I'm sure Stewart is going to want to press charges. I mean, he can't let this slide. This
Uh,
can't be something he slides. Can't be
I
impossible.
don't know. I can't speak for Stu, but
Right,
I know
right.
he's one of them guys. He's like a man's man.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of them people who's like, you want to shake hands over this and call it a day,
Mm-hmm. But
right? Like
still,
you just I don't know. You know,
right, right.
if it were,
That's something he's gonna have to talk about with his family. But honestly, I highly encourage him to, because this can't be unpunished. I mean, what went down was inhuman. It was just
yeah,
inhuman.
I believe he needs mandatory mental health and counseling and jail. That's my
Hard
personal
time. He needs
belief.
hard time, and you're right. Counseling and probation after he ever comes out. This has to be. He has to be made an example of, because you can't go around beating unconscious people to death. Because honestly,
No,
if you didn't step in, maybe Stewart never wakes up and Raja goes to jail forever. Like, you did Raja a major favor by saving him from himself, because he would have committed murder. And thank goodness he couldn't get on top of you. You were strong enough, and you saw it coming, and you're able to control him, because I think he would have injured you just as badly if he could. He was
yeah,
completely unhinged, went completely insane, and there's no excuse for it whatsoever.
you could see it in his eyes when I finally
Yeah.
looked in his face. I was like, oh my god, he's incensed. It's
He
like
was trying to hit you still, even when he was pinned against the ropes and there was no hope, he was still trying to fight.
yeah, he saw me as a personal target.
And even afterwards, you see him in the video when he left the arena, he's yelling, screaming, he's still frustrated, he's still angry.
Yeah,
He's saying nobody's going to call me I'm nobody's bitch. He went unhinged completely. Like, he was out of
yeah.
control.
There's honestly, I can't like grasp all of that. You know what I mean? Like I've been mad before, and I've been enraged. Like shit, I was enraged. I went to run outside and confront him the second time. But even when I saw people's faces and the sadness and the fear in their faces, I decided that they've already had a bad enough scene. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So I calmed down.
right.
And then I got mad again, and I went out back, and I went walking down the street. But like when you're looking around, you got to read the room. You know what I mean? And like he
Hmm.
had plenty of time to calm down. And the thing that really disturbs me is he was told when someone goes to pull you off, then it's done. Right?
Right.
You hear that in the videos.
That's an
Well,
MMA thing. That's ridiculous. That's insane. The fact that he said he
when
was going to
someone
keep punching.
touches you, you should have been done. So like if he was in an MMA fight and he really didn't like the guy, he would have tried to do the same thing. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was completely
The ref
insane.
should never have to yank you off of somebody like that.
It was completely
Yeah.
insane, definitely. But the thing is, you know, I also, I think, I hate to say it, but I think the promoters also, they have some blood on their hands, because I don't think it makes any sense to allow a young guy who doesn't know anything about professional wrestling. He's an MMA fighter. He's too dangerous of a guy to be let in there. And don't you guys have to sign waivers and contracts? Don't you guys have to be accredited or licensed to do professional wrestling in California? Or you don't need that whatsoever. Anybody can jump in.
Well, you got to be trained, you know. But
Do you have? Is it mandatory to be trained, or any guy could just come in on that night and just get in the show?
that's up to the people holding the show. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
uh, it's it's for entertainment. You know,
But
like
you got to know
that.
how to take the falls. You got to know how to give the shots without hurting somebody too
Yeah,
much, right?
but that's if you want to have a career and do it safely, right? But I'm just talking about from like
Hmm.
the aspect of like people showing up in wrestling. Like there's people who get it in 2 weeks. Some people take a couple years. Yeah, we're all trained in all of that. But like, do you have to have that? No.
It's not
So
mandatory. It's not regulated in any way.
I mean, there's some rules, but like I don't know them all to speak on them, you know, but I know you don't have to be licensed in California to wrestle. And I know that because when I work with when I do any work with the bigger organizations, you know, there's certain states if I were to go to, I have to go get licensed there.
Hmm. Okay, because my big fear is this. Okay, this is going to go to court, and Raja Jackson's going to play. And his defense is going to say, "Oh, it was all part of the show." When I said I was going to go out there and hurt him, it was all I was just trying to create smoke. You know, I was just trying to create smoke. You know, that's his defense. It's going to come out that I thought it was all theater. I didn't know I hurt the guy. I thought he was faking my punches. I didn't realize they were landing and doing damage. Like he's going to play dumb, right?
Yeah, I agree.
He's going to try to say, "Oh, you know, I wasn't trying to batter the man. It was maybe reckless endangerment." They're going to try to his defense is going to do that. Now, is it going to stick? I don't know. I'm not a legal expert, but I hope it doesn't. I mean, because that's why I was hoping that they gave him a specific scenario that he's allowed to do. Okay, pick him up, put him down this way, and you're going to win with a pin or whatnot. But did he go off script, or they were just both all everybody was assuming they're going to freestyle it? Was it the intention that him and Stewart were going to freestyle their interaction, or was it step by step scripted?
I told you I don't know that answer.
You don't know that. You don't know. Oh man,
All I know is well, how would I know that?
I don't know how I don't know how the professional works. That's what I'm telling you. I have no idea how you guys operate.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's always between the workers.
Okay.
So like if I was calling my match when the whole beer can thing. You can see me in the background, right?
Okay.
We're talking amongst ourselves, but that doesn't mean that the people behind me know what I'm doing.
Okay, I see what you mean.
It was between
him and Stewart, let's say.
That's why my reaction at first was like, shit, like this can't be a work. This is crazy. You know, and I had to take a moment. That's why it was like 1, 2, couple punches and I'm in. Like, you know, I don't know why anybody would be allowed to just go into a ring and make up whatever they want to do. All right, because in wrestling, when you're a senior wrestler, you guide the guy who doesn't know what they're doing. Like that's the work. You know what I mean? Like I'll grab somebody and say, "Hey, I'm going to throw you off the line, or I'm going to throw you off the ropes. I need you to duck a line." And when they come back, you know, you tell them to take a bump. You give them like a clothesline so that they can do it safely, right? But you don't let somebody that's inexperienced go in there and do something because that's how people get hurt.
Absolutely, it was just such an insane idea.
I still can't wrap my head around it. You know, like to me, it's something that it's haunting to like think that was even a scenario.
Douglas, is there a ambulance at the event?
No,
there's no ambulance at the event.
No, we discussed that in the first video that I dropped.
Yeah. Okay, there's no ambulance at the event, and okay, because that to me from the world I come from, that's like illegal. Okay, so I don't know what your laws are, but for us, it's completely illegal. You cannot have an MMA event without having 2 ambulances standing by at all times. Can I ask you another question? After the incident happened, didn't anybody call 911? Were the police called to the event?
Yeah, multiple people called the cops.
So squad cars came to the event.
They set up crime scene tape. They took statements from people. Yeah, they took statements from people. Everything.
Okay, so now I really can't understand how this man Raja Jackson is not in cuffs. I just can't explain it. I have no possible explanation.
I'm honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I have so much anxiety over the amount of stupid that I've witnessed through this whole event. You know, like that's like Rikishi coming back and he's retooling the whole thing. That's the greatest gift in the world for that promotion because he would never have allowed this to happen.
Okay, so
Rikishi has rules like, you know, if I give you my body and you don't protect me, you know, then I'm going to take over and I'm going to make sure you don't hurt me or anybody else.
Rikishi's an ex-promoter? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's an ex-performer.
A performer, but now you're saying he's taking over control of this organization?
Yeah, because he's a co-owner.
Okay. So you're saying that he's now at the helm again?
Yeah, he has to be because, you know, now it's too far gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like where do you go from there? You have to remove many people.
Because, you know, after I saw the aftermath of Stuart Smith breathing. His breathing was like, this is like the man, obviously a man close to death right now. How long did it take the ambulance to get there? Like, this is, Because you guys must have accidents all the time. I mean, how is an ambulance not on site all the time?
Oh, never like that.
No, no,
Our
obviously never.
events are safe. We the worst thing that I saw in 3 years of being there, somebody tore a bicep.
Okay. Okay.
Like we work safe. We're trained to be safe. Like
Right.
we're
Right.
trained very well, and we're safe
Right.
workers. And people don't get
Right.
hurt. They don't break their bones. Like that's not even a thing for us. Is typically worrying about going out there and getting hurt, unless you're working at somebody really really unsafe. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's like we set up protocols, and it's like, oh, we have this person, so we're not going to do this, that, or this. We're not going to let them do this, or this. You know, there's guys out there like, hey, I want to be able to pick you up for a slam, and I'm like, you're a buck 60, bud, and I'm like 260, and that's just not happening today. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't trust you.
Yeah,
Like we could dictate things and control safety. Uh, Everything is typically controlled and done safely.
I
This
hear
was
you.
out of control. It was given to the wind, and then there's no way in my mind I could rationalize allowing my friend to go out there knowing they might be in possible danger.
Yeah, I agree with you on this point. I agree with you. I think it was a recipe for disaster. Obviously, nobody expected Raja to go that berserk. But even if he did less than what happened, let's say just the slam, just the initial slam where he knocked him out, I think was way too much.
Yeah,
And even if he
yeah,
didn't go on with the punches, that's already too dangerous.
yeah. I agree, but he'd be in a lot better position
Yeah,
if he just did the slam.
yeah. If it was just, but even in my opinion, that's crazy. That's crazy. That could change a
I
man's
agree.
life.
I agree. I would never let somebody that's not a worker pick me up or a wrestler
Right,
pick me up.
right, right,
That would
right.
never happen. I'd be like, over my dead body. Like,
Yeah.
you attempt to do that, and then we will be fighting.
Douglas, I want to take this moment to remind everybody listening. I'm going to be putting the GoFundMe in the description below to raise money for Stuart Smith and his family, the man, the victim of this event, Psycho Stu, aka Psycho Stu. We want to raise as much money for him as possible to make sure that he regains his health. And Douglas, I don't know if you could tell us a little bit of what kind of guy Psycho Stu is, Stuart Smith.
He's a sweet dude. I'll put it in perspective here. Stu works at a ranch. Well, he works at the VA and he does stuff at a ranch called D6. Uh, the same ranch that AJ tried to claim that they're brothers. We worked at a ranch together. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
AJ, you got fired. Stu gave you a chance because you could live on the ranch because you didn't have a place to live. So they made an agreement. He could clean the stables and do all the chores that he agreed to do the chores, and then that would be cheap. And over time, you know, AJ, of course, he's not a worker. He's a diva. He would rather have a woman pay for him, kind of guy. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like he prefers everybody to pay for him. Even when his car tire popped, I bought him a car tire, and then he goes, "Well, don't you normally need two? Can I get two?" I swear to God, true story. I said, "What the hell is it?" I said, "I'll get you two used tires, buddy. How about that?" He goes, "Well, can you pay to get my car towed too to the tire shop?" And I said, "Bro, just go call a place and ask for used tires and give me a quote." And he goes, "Well, how do I do that?" He's useless. He's really useless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Stu took this guy in, and after he was kicked out of our promotion, and brings him one day to a show in Pomona, and everyone's saying, "Hey, Stu, like, why'd you bring this idiot?" And he goes, "Man, I'm just gonna give this kid a chance and like try to show him the ropes, teach him a thing or two about life, you know." And the next month, he goes, "Man, he just doesn't get it," but he's still not mad at him, you know. And then he even gave him a car to drive, which he knew he wasn't going to get paid back for. He, sold him a car that he knew he wasn't going to be able to collect money on. Like that's the kind of guy he is. He knew he was going to
Mm-hmm.
take a loss, but he knew this guy really needed the vehicle, even though he knew this guy never lives up to the end of his bargains.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a good man. He's got a good soul.
Well, I really hope he recovers from this fully and he gets back to professional wrestling. I'm sure. I'm really hopeful that You know, they're taking the best care possible. I really hope everybody raises money for him. I'm going to be donating to him today also. I'm going to be putting the link in the description. Douglas, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for filling us in on the details. You're the hero of the day. You're the man who saved Psycho Stu's life. And also, you saved Raja Jackson from making the situation even worse for himself. I'm sure years from now, he's going to look back. I hope he does his jail time, looks back, and thanks you for protecting him from committing a possible murder or manslaughter or whatever, how it went down. It was a vicious attack. On behalf of the MMA community, I want to apologize. Believe me when I tell you, the 99% of us, we don't think like that. We don't act like that. And it's embarrassing to us. It's a black eye to the MMA community. It's just completely embarrassing to us. Believe me, we're all against what he did. None of us do this kind of stuff. Very few of us are that dumb. And I love the pro wrestling community. I love watching you guys perform. You guys have a great sport. Especially when I was younger, I absolutely loved it. I grew up with the classic wrestlers, and I can't thank you enough for stepping in and handling yourself so well against a dangerous MMA fighter.
Yeah, honestly, I appreciate you for that. And you guys in the MMA community, like the people who train for fighting, I don't think the rest of the world really understands what your guys' bodies are capable of. Even smaller frames, your joints are strong. They're built for grappling. They're durable. You guys know how to get leverage. It's a different ball game being in there with somebody. So like I just want to show my appreciation to the MMA guys out there. I don't think that I'm some tough dude who could take anybody. I have some training, but you guys are special athletes.
Listen,
And if I could,
yeah.
I was going to say really quickly. There's one thing I could say that you can find out what kind of person Stu is. He heard what happened to him, even though nobody's supposed to tell him, and he laughed.
No way.
And said, "Oh, it'll take more than that to kill me."
He's definitely Psycho Stu. He's psycho. He's living up to the name.
Yeah, he's tough as shit. He really is. He's a cowboy.
Wow.
He's a real cowboy. He's a tough dude.
Wow,
he knows mechanics. He's just you gotta love the dude. He's just the all American dude. Like he's a quiet guy. Like if he messes up, he's willing to shake hands and put it in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, listen, again, my respect to you for stepping in, man. You are the hero of the day. I can't tell you how much admiration I have for you. And I love to hear that Psycho Stu is already cracking jokes and is positive about it. And, I really hope justice is served. And I really hope that this man's in jail soon. It's unacceptable. It's inexcusable. It was a disgusting display of inhumanity, no compassion for his fellow man. And it could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for you, man. So thank you very much, Douglas. And I really appreciate you taking this call. I really hope you're going to be doing a lot of interviews and raising money for Psycho Stu and awareness and helping the community get over this, because this has been an incredible stain on the MMA community.
Yeah, it's been. You guys don't deserve that. That doesn't represent you guys. I appreciate you. And lastly, I want to apologize if I seem a little shorter or impatient. I'm at work. Also, thinking about that situation when you're asking the questions like, why was this allowed to happen? That's how I feel inside. Like, well, how did this get here? Like, I have just as many unanswered questions, that infuriate me. And I'm sorry if I displayed any short-temperedness.
No, my brother, you're 100% cool. I really appreciate you doing this, especially I know you're working right now. I want to spread the awareness. I want to help Stuart Smith get back on his feet, get back to his way of life that he was before, his health. And we're going to try to raise as much money from the MMA community as possible. I'm donating myself today, and I'm putting the link in the description. And I really, again, man, I can't thank you enough for stepping in and saving this man's life.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
You too.